Welcome back to the Neutral Zone. Today, we're going to be talking about the Washington Huskies as we continue along with our recap series. As always, if you're new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss an upload when we go live or you don't miss us talking about your favorite team in college football. But, Dad, as we talk about the Huskies, how do you feel about their season, obviously being the runner-up in the national championship game?
Yeah, I felt really good about them coming to the season. With Penix and those receivers, that was a elite all-time receiving core. Really four deep. There are names that you guys know and names you may not know. But from Ndunze, Polk, McMillan, Bernard, this was a very good offense, and they were exciting to watch all season. Again, I had them. If you guys remember in the preview video, I had them neck and neck with Oregon. I did have Oregon beating them out to go to the playoff, but I had them right there. I thought that this would be a really good team. I thought that they may lose a game or two, and that's really kind of where they ended up being. Probably even better than my expectations because they did not lose that game until they got into the national championship game. The concerning part for them is, man, the Washington Huskies that took the field in the national championship game and the Washington Huskies that are going to take the field in either late August or early September next year are going to be two completely different outfits from the coach, quarterback, most of the receivers. Most of that team has been decimated. So a big turnover with Washington. I have no idea right now what this team is going to look like coming into next year. So my hope is that this isn't a one and done type thing, that they aren't a team that kind of peaked and then we never hear from them. And I don't want to say never, but we don't hear from them again for a few seasons. I hope that they can bring some players in. Some of these players that we don't know are much better than we think. And as they come into the Big Ten, they play really good football and keep their name kind of on that national level. But I suspect that this team, a 14-1 team that was in the national championship, is going to dip drastically. If I was off the top of my head, kind of looking at what they have on the schedule next year, I would not be shocked if this isn't a 4 or 5 loss team next year. And that's sad because this was such a fun team, such an amazing team to watch. Again, didn't go well in the national championship game, but they played their hearts out all season. Penix almost 5,000 yards on the season. But I suspect that this team is going to be really bad next year. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, so I agree. I think I'm not going to preview their next year just because we're going to do a video for that. This team was offensively stacked up just like the LSU Tigers a couple years ago. We're talking about one of the most prolific offenses we've ever seen at the college level, at least in my lifetime of me watching, 20 some odd years, however you want to say it. I think Penix kind of defied injuries and everything, throws for almost 5,000 yards, obviously, this year, wills his team to the national championship game, and just ends up going against, a monster in Michigan in that defense.
Yep.
And obviously having Corum and Edwards and McCarthy being a veteran quarterback. So I think they were just outmatched overall. But I think when you look at the season in which the Washington Huskies had, it was a major success because, outside of the last time they went to the playoffs, this is a middle of the road type program. And again, Washington fans, if you guys find this video, I'm not, dogging you guys at all.
I think that's factual, right? I don't think there's anything.
This Washington is not a team that is looked at as a national championship contending team every year.
Year in and year out, right?
Year in and year out. But I think with what you guys are losing, this was the window, unfortunately. Yeah. And I know, like I said, a lot of Washington fans are not going to like to hear it, but that's the unfortunate circumstances that college football is at right now, because you lose your head coach, you lose your coordinators, you lose every starting player on offense. There's no starters coming back next year on offense.
That's crazy.
You obviously lose Jabbar Muhammad, who hasn't decided where he's going to go yet. So it's going to be very tough to compete. I would say to even compete next year,
Yes.
because you're trying to fill holes and plug holes with players who have really never played before or players who were on other teams. We saw Colorado do it, and it wasn't successful. Now, I'm not saying the Washington Huskies are in the same situation as Colorado. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just using as an example of filling, major pieces of your offense and your team by transfer portal players is not a recipe for success. So I think Washington is going to take a natural step back, but that doesn't diminish what they did this year. Still one of, the best, I would say the best teams we've seen in the college football playoff era. Because the defense wasn't terrible by any means. They weren't the best defense in the country, but they weren't bad. We've seen other defenses that are worse than them, play in the playoffs before. I think this is the second best offense we've ever seen in the playoffs behind LSU, but I think it's very close. The best receiving core, close to the best receiving core as well. So I just think Washington fans should be very happy with how the season ended. I'm not going to say they should be supremely optimistic heading into next year, because that would be a bit ignorant in my opinion,
Right.
just because of how much you're losing. Now, if you told me Washington is a 10-win team next year, I would be absolutely shocked.
Yes.
I would be shocked. I know they play Michigan. I'm not sure who else they play, but I know they play Michigan off the top of my head. If you want to pull up the schedule, but I know they
Yeah,
play
I got it.
Michigan, but they are in the Big Ten now. If I had to bet, they're going to be between 6 and 8 wins, right around there. I just think when you lose so much, it's going to be tough. Again, we're going to preview later in the
So,
year. This
so I'm
is
gonna
go
give you
ahead.
just games that of note. Michigan, they play Michigan October 5th. They have Iowa October 12th. They have USC November 2nd, Penn State November 9th, UCLA November 16th, and then Oregon November 30th.
Yeah, so those are all kind of swing games in my opinion, and really, there's probably a
And
couple
I'll
other
be
games on
honest,
there that you
I
didn't name.
suspect. So looking, they are only bringing back two players that started last year at all. So
Yeah,
when you're talking about turning over 22 players, 20 players leaving, every game I named based off of what we know right now. And again, like you said, I want to mention this to Washington fans. Uh, I would suspect they're going to lose all those games.
yeah,
Like
it's gonna be it's definitely gonna be hard. You bring over Damon Williams, the quarterback from Arizona, who obviously followed the coach,
yeah,
Jeff Fish, I believe his name is, followed the coach over
yeah,
to
Jeff Fish
Washington.
or it's Jed Fish.
Jedfish, I'm sorry. You bring over Jordan Shaw. He's from Arizona. I think the running back from Arizona committed today to Washington, if I'm not mistaken, earlier today. Jonah Coleman. But like I said, you lose so much in the portal that it's hard to be optimistic for next year. But again, that doesn't diminish what Washington did this year, because
No, at all.
you still win the Pac-12. You still beat a very talented Texas team, who in my opinion is going to be one of the favorites next year. And then you compete with Michigan up until later in the game. Who I feel like, again, all season long, I said that Michigan was the most complete team. They're the best team in college football. And you gave them a run for their money early on. Like I said, the game got away late. Obviously, Penix looked injured throughout the game, so that played
Yes.
a major factor.
Well, and
But
at the
again,
end, I think he could barely move.
very successful season for the Huskies, though. Um, Dad, is there anything else you kind of want to leave off with as far as Washington and, the
No,
expectations for the program?
I think you said it. This is a season to really hang your hat on. An amazing season, amazing run. This team played through injuries, adversity, and was able to end up in the national championship game. Like I said, looking only at a recap of last season, this was an amazing season for Washington. This was one of those seasons that if you're a Washington fan, that you probably hold on to, because I guarantee there were a lot of good moments. Came a little short, but there are 130 teams that did not make it as far as you did. So nothing to be upset about last year. I don't think many of the national pundits had Washington. Now, I think a lot of people had them being really good, but I don't think many of them had them in the national championship game. So, yeah, there is a lot to be very happy about.
Definitely. As always, if you guys are new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss an upload. We go live every single Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern. We just did a giveaway for the signed Tim Tebow jersey. If you guys missed that, do not miss the next one. Make sure you subscribe so you can join the community and talk ball with us every single day. But we will see you guys at tomorrow's recap. Peace out.